9/11, The Accusation, Bringing the Guilty to Justice, a book by Slobodan Mitric. Chapter 11, Bin Laden is a terrorist, in parentheses. In the anti-nuclear bunker deep beneath the White House, all members of the cabinet, as well as the heads of intelligence and counterintelligence, have come together. The president nervously bites his lower lip. The National Security Agency claims that the telephone call did not come from Moscow. The National Security Agency director nods. That's 1,000%. The Vice President of America spreads his arms. People, I recognize his voice. The director of the National Security Agency begins to explain. Mr. President, there is no doubt that it is not so. But recently a special phone has been developed that can simulate all our voices. Everyone looks at each other. Why have we not been informed of this in time? Demands the President of the United States angrily. The head of the National Security Agency clamps his lips together. That you should ask those who are above us. Well, I am the President. Yeah, you are, George, smiles the Secretary of Defense. But only on paper, you and all of us. The rocket that destroyed the General Staff of Counterintelligence at the Pentagon was fired from our aircraft carrier. Again, there is a deadly silence. After a while, the President stammers, well, now that means... The Central Intelligence Agency Director completes his thought. That we can destroy ourselves. Are there any alternatives? A mysterious, small, stocky, and balding gentleman who has remained silent up to this point, takes a stack of documents out of his briefcase and spreads the papers on the table. All those present pick up a copy. Yes, there is, George. Take note of this. Today you will inform the Senate that behind all these attacks is Bin Laden. The President of America reads for himself the content of the document and flows through his lips. Paper! Who will believe this nonsense? Everyone, George, everyone. And it all depends on you. Gentlemen, I hope you will be wise enough. Vietnam Institute press release. Read and issued by Robert Kelder. Bin Laden is a terrorist, in parentheses. Amsterdam, May 2nd, 2011. The murder of Bin Laden has all the markings of a desperate attempt to silence a key witness in the attacks of 9/11. Not in order for this suspect to admit his guilt, but to point a finger to the real perpetrators, or at least to those who are guilty of pinpointing the blame on him and hushing up the real terrorists. To substantiate this claim, the chapter entitled Bin Laden is a Terrorist from the True Crime 9/11, The Accusation, Bringing the Guilty to Justice by Dr. Slobodan Mitric, General Director of Reserve Police International, RPI, and World Atomic Counterespionage, WACA, has been issued as a pre-publication. The contents of this short chapter on a meeting in the anti-nuclear bunker beneath the White House right after 9/11 raises the real possibility that the announcement of the forthcoming presentation of this new 9/11 novel laden with incriminating documents at the Book Expo America in New York City from May 24th to 26th may have been a contributing factor in the decision to get rid of this key witness. A similar coincidence, in parentheses, occurred here in the Netherlands in 2009 after a newspaper article appeared about the true crime The Golden Tip by Mitric on the attempt to kidnap and murder the Dutch Crown Prince Willem-Alexander. the author managed to foil. Shortly afterwards, however, the so-called lone perpetrator Ferdi Elzas of the kidnapping and murder of the alternative target of the real perpetrators, captain of industry and Ahold topman Gert-Jan Heijn, was killed in a traffic accident in parentheses, thereby also conveniently getting rid of a key witness in this still hushed-up case.